Hello everyone, welcome to Slow English Stories. I'm Lyle, and today, we are going to learn English through a powerful and mysterious story called The Silver Capsule, The Last Hope. In this story, we will follow a young man named Kael who feels lost in life. Pay close attention because I will explain new words and grammar points as we go. Right inside the story, let's dive in. The city of Oakhaven was buried under a thick, wet fog. Kael sat alone in his small, dark apartment. The air inside felt stale. When I use the word stale, I mean the air was old, not fresh, and had a slightly unpleasant smell because the windows were never open. Outside, there was a constant patter of rain against the glass. To patter is to make a series of quick, light tapping sounds, just like raindrops hitting a window. Kael had been living in silence for months. Let's look at this grammar. Had been living is the past perfect continuous. We use this to talk about an action that started in the past and continued up until another point in the past. Everything in his life felt gray. He felt a deep sense of despair. Despair is a very strong word that means a total loss of hope. He didn't want to eat, he didn't want to work, and he didn't want to see anyone. Suddenly, sharp metallic clink echoed from the hallway. Kael slowly walked to the door. There, on the wooden threshold, the threshold is the floor at the bottom of a doorway that you walk over to enter a room, lay a small, shining silver capsule. Next to the capsule was a small piece of paper. It said, "Take this, and you will see the sun again." Kael's heart began to race. He was hesitant. To be hesitant means to be slow in acting or moving because you were uncertain or worried. Was this a trick, or was it truly his last chance to feel alive again? Kael picked up the capsule. It looked shimmering and bright in his hand. The word shimmering describes something that shines with a soft, waving light. He whispered, "Maybe this is it." Then, he swallowed the pill with a glass of water. The verb swallowed is in the simple past. We use this tense to describe a completed action that happened at a specific time in the past. He sat on his bed and waited. Suddenly, he felt a strange sensation. A sensation is a physical feeling or perception in your body. It was like a small, warm fire starting in his heart. He felt empowered. When you feel empowered, you feel like you have the strength and confidence to do something difficult. He had never felt so awake in his entire life. Notice the grammar here. Had never felt is the past perfect. We use this to talk about an experience that happened before a specific moment in the past. He walked to the window and pulled the heavy, dusty curtains open. The sunlight was radiant. Radiant means sending out light or shining very brightly. Kael looked at his messy room and felt a sudden urge to clean. An urge is a strong desire or impulse to do something. He started cleaning immediately. He washed the dishes, threw away the old coffee cups, and scrubbed the floor until it smelled of fresh lemon. By the evening, the apartment was spotless. Spotless is a great word for something that is perfectly clean, without even one spot of dirt. Kael looked in the mirror. For the first time in months, he could see a smile on his face. In this sentence, could see uses the modal verb could to show ability in the past. He felt like a new man. But then, he looked at the empty silver wrapper on the table and wondered what was actually inside that capsule. Kael decided to find the source of his new life. He walked through the city and felt invigorated. When you feel invigorated, you feel full of energy and strength. He was searching for the person who left the note. In this sentence, was searching is the past continuous, which describes an action that was happening over a period of time in the past. He eventually found a small, old shop at the end of a narrow street. The shop smelled of lavender and old books. Lavender is a plant with small purple flowers that has a very relaxing scent. Inside the shop, an old woman was sitting behind a counter. I took the silver capsule, Kael said. I need more. It is my only remedy. A remedy is a medicine or treatment for a disease or a difficult situation. He felt desperate. To be desperate means to have a great need or a feeling of hopelessness. The woman looked at him with kind eyes. She had seen many people like Kael before. Here, had seen, is the past perfect. Used to show an action that happened before Kael arrived at the shop. There are no more capsules, Kael, she whispered. Kael's heart sank. He felt vulnerable. To be vulnerable means to be easily hurt or at risk. He asked, "Will the sadness come back?" The woman shook her head and said, "You must realize that the capsule was empty." This grammar point, must realize, uses the modal verb must to show that something is very important or certain. It was just a piece of sugar. You healed yourself because you believed you were getting better. Healed is the simple past, showing a completed action in the past. Kael stood there, motionless. If you are motionless, you are not moving at all. He realized that the medicine was a placebo. A placebo is a substance that has no physical effect, but makes a person feel better because they believe it is a real medicine. He had changed his own life through the power of belief. Had changed. Is the past perfect again? He didn't need the silver capsule anymore. He had the courage to face the world. Courage is the ability to do something that scares you. And that is the powerful truth behind Kael's journey. The biggest strength you have is inside your own mind. Thank you for joining me on Slow English Stories. If this story helped you learn a new word or grammar point today, please subscribe to our channel and share this video with a friend. What is one thing you believe in? Let me know in the comments. I'm Lio, and I'll see you in our next story.